if you're concerned that you might be affected by this supply chain attack. In other words, you often download these Python libraries. This attack group, Team PCP, is really hitting every open source project repository out there. So if your organization often interacts, downloads, uploads even, and definitely any that have authenticated access to these repositories, you might be concerned that you've been affected by this attack. So common things to look for, and one of the reasons that this attack was identified so quickly is that there was a developer that went, "Hey, why is my machine running so slow?" And he dug into the services and the processes running, and that's when that developer identified, something nefarious is going on. And that's usually the symptoms, much like getting sick. The symptoms tell us that there's something off. So anything obvious would be a good indication that something's weird. Don't get paranoid right away, but definitely look into anything out of the ordinary running on your systems. So the easiest thing to do is go and look at, in this case, if you downloaded the Lite LLM version, go look at the hash value for that. Compare it to the Lite LLM trusted hash value. If they're the same, you're good. If they're not the same, then either assume you've been compromised and just change everything. That's the least effort, fastest path to confidence. Realize too that sometimes malware doesn't behave immediately. It sometimes lies dormant, and a lot of malware, and I think in this case too, installs some backdoors. So if you simply delete the package you downloaded, if you simply change credentials, sometimes that back door can open up, and regardless of all those other things you did, bad guys can still have access to your data and create some havoc that way. Talked about network indicators, unusual traffic to unusual destinations, IP addresses, VPN tunnels, Tor exit points. If you're a development shop in Texas, as an example, and you're fairly isolated or domestic, and you're seeing all this international traffic, especially around the dates, the last couple of days, those are also things to be considerate of.